up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. We've got a little season preview here, some hot topics with Mr. Tim Rogers. Be sure to follow him at SD Dodger. And also, let me know down below in the comments section. Give me your bold predictions for the Dodgers this year. Who will win team MVP? Will they go over or under 106 wins? Let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So let's touch on some 2022 Dodgers, right? Okay, so this year, obviously, the big addition. They signed superstar Freddie Freeman. They replaced Corey Seager's left-handed bat with, most would say, an upgrade when it comes to his pure hitting skills. An elite hitter in Freddie Freeman. What added dimension does he give this Dodgers lineup that maybe Corey Seager didn't? What does Freddie Freeman bring to this Dodgers lineup that maybe it didn't have in the past?
Well, I don't want to jinx anything. First of all, is health.
Yeah.
And the second part is with Seager not there, who is a favorite of a lot of us, they're so much better at defense with Trey Turner at shortstop and then Freddie Freeman at first. My view on Corey was he did need to move. I would have liked to have seen him stay, but as a first baseman.
Yeah.
Not as a shortstop. So Trey Turner is is obviously a really good shortstop.
Yeah, so, I mean, you bring up a really good point there. Hearing about him maybe as a first baseman is really interesting when you consider everyone just assumes he's going to slide over to third base one day. But, hey, Corey Seager, thanks for that 2020 World Series. Yeah, Dodgers legend in my book, a part of Dodgers lore forever. But
my jerseys.
You got your number 5, man. Like I said, you got the number 5 Seager. You got to add the number 5 Freeman at some point. But now we're going to talk about this Dodgers rotation. So that, to me, is the big question. I mean, Dave Roberts said this morning on Dan Patrick that the Dodgers will win the World Series as long as the starting rotation stays healthy. I question, does this starting rotation have enough frontline stars, enough arms to really be a World Series winning rotation? My question for you is, how do you feel like they're going to fill out the back end of that rotation as far as their 4 or 5 starters? Do you think they should consider going with a 6-man rotation? What are your thoughts on the Dodgers rotation right now?
I'm a huge fan of the 6-man rotation. I mean, we saw it last year where everyone ran out of gas. That's why they lost. I mean, Muncy going down hurt a lot, but the fact that the starting rotation had to pick up was being pushed a lot, and they ran out of gas. There was nothing left in the tank. So if you go a 6-man rotation, it's good for Kirsch. He won't like it. It's good. It's for his own good. You get maybe an Andre Jackson in there as a 6th guy, or definitely Gonsolin. I guess we're going with Anderson and Heaney.
Yeah. You got Mitch White. I mean,
yeah,
there's depth, but I'm a little concerned about the frontline guys in that starting rotation. Also, the health of Clayton Kershaw. But look, bottom line, you got the ace, Walker Buehler, a top 5 pitcher. And look, the thing about this organization is Andrew Friedman, they invested so much money in Freddie Freeman that if they don't feel like this is a World Series winning rotation, they're going to do something during the year to address that. But we got to talk about the bullpen now because, look, Kenley Jansen, the Dodgers, they've relied upon him to be the Dodgers closer for the past 12 seasons. Say what you want about the guy. You know I've called him the California Adventure, but he is the Dodgers all-time leader in saves with 350, but he's signed with the Braves. What do the Dodgers do as far as closing out games? In my opinion, I'm not a big you have to have one closer guy, but what do you think they should do? How do you think they should close out games, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I wrote an article 3 years ago about this when the Doc kept going to Kenley over and over no matter what, and it's that automatic type thing. Now, what you did see last year in most games, Blake Treinen got the toughest part of the order. 7th inning, 6th inning sometimes, 8th, whatever. I think that will continue to happen. We got, let's see how Daniel Hudson can do to maybe do the same thing, but I do want them playing matchups. I think this bullpen's actually loaded. I mean, Victor Gonzalez looking good again. Justin Brule just comes in and gets guys out. And I think there's a couple guys that are in the farm system that might surprise that you might see this year. Mark Washington and Zach Plunkett. Those are 2 guys that are kind of under the radar dudes. Plunkett was good yesterday. Washington was good in his thing. They're ready to go. It's just a matter of health. But I think the bullpen's very deep this year. I'm really happy with it.
Now we're talking some extensions, okay? So first we're going to talk about Dave Roberts, okay? So we know Dave Roberts, when the Dodgers lose, he's public enemy number 1. When they win, he doesn't get the credit. They say, oh, he has all the talent. He got the keys to the Bentley. I always say, even if you got the keys to the Bentley, you still have to know how to drive it. Why do you think that Dave Roberts Roberts is or isn't the right guy to lead this current Dodgers team?
Well, you look at it. He's been doing this is his 7th year now.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, you go, he hasn't even come close to like losing the team. And so for him to lead this group and this ever-changing group, and it's very underrated what happened last year when Trevor Bauer was out. That clubhouse didn't miss a beat. The team kept going. Some of that was also probably with Albert, but Justin Turner. They have a really good. Seems like they have a really good clubhouse. Doc he has to get credit for that. And so pay the man. I believe he's a Dodger until he doesn't want to be, and he gets another World Series win or two. He's in the Hall of Fame. And and if you look at the past, every manager we can complain about. If you watch any team, you're going to go, oh, yeah, they should have done that. They should have done. And that's okay. That's part of the fun of it is being what do they call it, a couch manager or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's part of the fun of watching the game, going on Twitter and voicing your opinion. And I've been pretty hard on Doc, but I think he's a special guy. I've met him a few times. I think the team really loves him. And why change?
That's what I always say about Dave Roberts. If you fire or replace Dave Roberts, there's going to be 29 other teams lined up to probably try to hire him, save for a couple teams out there. And his success speaks for itself. He took the Dodgers to 3 World Series. He's won 1. And I always like to say when it comes to Dave, thank you. That's what I always like to say is if you're a Dodger fan out there that wants him replaced, then you also can't say the Astros cheated and the Dodgers would have won that series, because what you're essentially saying is that the Dodgers should replace a manager that's won 2 World Series in 6 years, which no team is going to do. But I think you bring up a really good point about he hasn't lost the clubhouse. And when you have a clubhouse filled with so many superstars, they're loaded with talent, to get the buy-in from players down the lineup. Chris Taylor is an all-star now. And Cody Bellinger taking on different roles. When we saw him platooning guys, everyone buys in to what Dave Roberts does and this organization does. And I think that Dave really knows how to ride that wave and stay even-keeled throughout the season. I agree with you 100%. He is the right guy for this team. And I think that if you're a Dave Roberts hater, you kind of hate hearing the fact that, he might be, like you said, on a Hall of Fame trajectory, which he is. So, I'm rooting for Dave. Like you said, he's a great guy. Next extension I want to talk to you about is Trey Turner. So, the Dodgers, of course, they make the blockbuster deal for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. They trade their top 2 prospects in Keibert Ruiz and Josiah Gray. Max Scherzer, of course, he took his dead arm to New York, but Trey Turner's still under contract for 1 more year. Do you think the Dodgers are going to lock him up before he hits free agency?
Man, I really hope so. That's, but even before Doc gets his extension, I would be on Trey Turner right now. That guy's a top 2 shortstops in Major League Baseball. You got to keep the guy. It's going to cost a lot of money. Easy for me to say, it's not our money, but they really need to keep that guy. He's so dynamic. He's got speed, power. He does it all. He is kind of a 5-tool. He's evolved into a 5-tool player. The guy actually it's funny, he has 3 cycles in his career, which is a very strange thing.
He's unbelievable. This guy has ridiculous speed. And like I said, you got a core of Mookie Betts, Trey Turner, Freddie Freeman for the next few years. I think it's a no-brainer. I just think kind of the big question is, for the Dodgers, what they learn from Corey Seager? What they learn from Freddie Freeman? Once you hit free agency, like Freddie Freeman said, all bets are off. And I think if he gets to free agency, it might be tough to bring him back. But I agree with you. No-brainer. Lock up Trey if you can. Something 8 years, 280, 8 years, 285. It's not our money. Spend big. So a couple quick ones here. So the Dodgers, who do you think will be the Dodgers regular season MVP? Who will be the Dodgers team MVP this season?
Team MVP, I think it's Mookie Betts.
Yeah.
I think he's going to come in. He's going to be on fire. Don't worry about him not being in the lineup. I saw him this morning with my own eyes, batting, stealing bases. He's fine. He just wants to pace it. It's a long season. He's Mookie Betts. He can kind of do what he wants to do because he knows how to get the most out of Mookie Betts.
I love that pick. You heard Mookie say, he had a bad year when he's even having a pretty good year. So, he holds himself to the highest standard. When it's a guy like Mookie Betts, sees them trade for Trey Turner. He sees them sign Freddie Freeman. But let's not forget, Mookie Mookie Betts, when he's right, he's a top 5 to 10 player in the league. Such a unique talent. I think that this is the year he kind of reestablishes himself as a top 5 to 10 player, because right now, not a lot of people are including him in lists like that. You got Juan Soto and right, but I agree with you 100%. I think Mookie has a big year this year. So the Dodgers' regular season franchise record for wins is 106 wins. Over, under 106 wins this season for the Dodgers.
It's really hard to do, but I'm going to say over.
Are you bold enough to give that exact win count?
Well, I did reply to the response.
You're going to go 117?
I said 162.
Okay. 160.
No, I'm not going to go 117.
Okay.
Let's go 108.
Let's go 108. I like that. You heard that from Mr. Tim Rogers. 108 wins for the Dodgers this year. Give me your boldest Dodgers prediction for this season. Give me your bold Dodger prediction.
Let's go with Andrew Heaney finds it again.
Wow.
And is a above average, solid starter, and has an ERA of under 3.5, strikes out more than a batter per inning, and establishes himself as either the 3 or 4 starter, depending on the health of Clayton Kershaw.
You heard that, Andrew Heaney. A lot of you fans out there writing off Heaney after one bad spring training start, but hey, he has the stuff. He knows how to miss bats. He's throwing that fastball a little too much with the Angels, with the Yankees, but I think that, hey, if there's any team that can fix Andrew Heaney, it's the Dodgers. So I totally agree. I like that one. And then last question. If you were a Dodger, what would your walk-up song be?
Well, sorry about this, everybody. It's Slayer, Raining Blood.
All right. Slayer, Raining Blood. You heard it there. That's my man, Mr. Tim Rogers. Like I said, if you're a big fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers, you got to 1, follow Tim at SD Dodger, and 2, check out his website. He's the lead editor. He's the founder of Dodgers2080.com. All things Dodger prospects. You're going to find it over there, the prospect guru. Thank you very much, Mr. Tim Rogers. Really appreciate it.
One quick thing, Doug. So I've been out taking a ton of pictures. Go to @Dodgers2080 on Instagram, and I got a ton of pictures of all these prospects.
That's right. So you hear that. Go follow Dodgers2080 on Instagram. He's got tons of pictures of the Dodgers prospects. But thanks a lot for joining us here on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. And for you guys down below in the comment section, give me your bold predictions for the Dodgers this season. The bolder, the better. Also, over or under 106 wins for the Dodgers. Give me your Dodgers win total for the regular season this year. Who will be team MVP? Do you have any other thoughts of any of the stuff that we talked about? Trey Turner's extension. Is Dave Roberts the right guy for the job? Let me know down below. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.